right, and we're ready to go. So, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend.
Well, go ahead then.
I
You can tell she my mama.
You are talking to her.
Me, my weekend was very peaceful with Mackenzie. We just
Mm.
relaxed and we went to the park, and girl getting run for my money. She told me, let's go shopping, me and you. Like, girl, who's really
Oh.
going shopping? You picking it up and I'm paying for
They
it.
call them the broke best
Best friends.
friends.
Now I see how my mama felt back in the
broke-
days.
the
Like,
broke best
goodness,
friends.
they don't know nothing about the money.
Well,
Ooh.
my week was pretty easy for the
Okay.
most part. My youngest, which is 7 years old, does not want to sit still in class anymore. He's over it. He knows that it's towards the end, so he just like whatever with school. So I hear him running upstairs like all over the place. So at this point, I just don't have the tolerance to tell him to sit down, be quiet, pay attention. You got a couple more weeks left. We good.
I agree with you on that.
And on that note, welcome to another episode of So Problematic. This is your girl Cece.
And Jay.
And we have a guest today. You want to introduce your guest?
Let me go ahead. So this guest I've known for 32 years of my life.
What?
I know, forever. Well, that is because she went ahead and popped me out of that glorious body. And that is my mama.
Yeah.
I know. I'm being brave. I am.
You decided to interview your mom.
I did. I was like, my mother is perfect. And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute now. But you know what?
Mom's going to put you on blast. Just know that, okay?
Yes. I thought to myself,
I see.
I thought to myself, get your little tissues out right now. When it came to lupus, I remember my mother going through the battle and coming out on top and still being the woman she is today. So I say, you know what? For lupus awareness, I got to bring my mama out for that. It wouldn't be nobody else that could do it justice. So here she is, my mama, but you got to call her Esther, but I'll call her mama. And she's here to talk about just everything in a nutshell. I would literally say lupus, she has been through it, gone through it. I would say she wrote the book. And it's still right in the book. So, Mom, tell us about yourself. Tell us what's going on with you. How was your week? Why you looking so cute right now?
Okay.
Let us know why you beaming.
Well, first of all, show off that ring.
The ring, baby. Okay.
So, let me first start by saying, yes, I am the mother of this lovely young lady, Jaleesa. And I have 4 beautiful grandchildren and 3 children. Oh my goodness, I've not had any issues. I know parents say they have issues with their children, but I can actually say I'm going to toot my own horn and knock on wood because I have grown 3 amazing children that has not given me any problem since I've been raising them. But then again, I raised them in the fear of the Lord too.
She did, John. So, it was rough.
I'll go off by saying that. And I am also, the side note, I am a registered nurse, and I've been a registered nurse for over 20 years, in which worked in many areas of nursing. I do, right now, I've been doing palliative care, which is hospice nursing as well, for the last 15 of those 20 years, and that is where my passion lies. I like caring for the dying patients, those who are at end of life. So it's all for me about comfort care. There's a lot of misconceptions out there regarding hospice, but it's a wonderful job, but you have to be called for it. It's not for every nurse. Right. Okay, because we're not promoting life. We're just assisting and helping people transition to the next life. And right now, I haven't had a chance to get home because I've left the States, and I'm now in Grand Cayman, where I am a hospice nurse, and I am in charge of the villa here. My typical day will be ended at 4:30, but today I had a patient that came in late from the hospital that is dying. So I had to make sure everything was there and for comfort for that patient before I left out. And then when I left out, I realized traffic was there, so I turned right back around in order to do this podcast.
I know that's right.
Y'all know what that is, right?
You guys are 1 hour ahead of us.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that. I would have told you 6 instead.
When I realized that, I had to go right back around because I was closer to the office and I wasn't to home.
Oh yeah.
And so so that's basically it. I love doing what I'm doing, but I'm also in the process of getting my own business, and it's already started up and running. So I'll be doing more pain management on a holistic side.
Ooh, I like that.
Nothing invasive.
I know that's right.
So, and I did name it after one of my grandchildren.
She did, not mine.
Which is my oldest grandchild, which is Lania's Alternative Pain Management.
Mm-hmm. The first
So,
granddaughter, yeah.
Okay. It's just actually on the way of opening. We got the place and we're about to start by the end of this month.
I know that's right.
Taking in clients. So that's where I stand. So nursing on a whole, it's very rounded. You can so many different avenues you can branch out into.
I know that's right. And with her being a nurse, so for those who don't know, my mom was diagnosed with lupus. And before she was diagnosed, I didn't know what in the world lupus was. I was like, what is lupus? Right. I've heard about like when your body attacks itself and everything, but I'm like, what's the name of that? Well, it's lupus. Okay. So Mother, give them more of a better explanation of what lupus is and what are the signs of lupus that you are.
Well, actually, let me start by saying, when you hear of the body attacking itself, lupus is also, I believe it's the French name, one of the names, I'm not sure, for the word wolf. Mm. So just like how a wolf will attack,
and demolish, I never heard that before. And
demolish its whoever it is in its way, it's the same how your immune system.
Oh wow.
So lupus is a disease that occurs when your body's own immune system attacks its own tissues. Okay. It's saying that my immune system sees my heart as a foreign object.
Oh wow.
My immune system sees my lungs as a foreign object. It sees my kidneys and all my organs as a foreign object. So what does it do? Your immune system typically runs to fight against anything foreign in your body. So since my body cannot recognize that all these organs belong within me, that wolf attacks every part of my body. So when people actually die of lupus, it's actually different organs failing because of the disease, the inflammation that the disease causes. The disease causes great inflammation in the body, and so it can affect. It could affect your joints, your skin, the kidneys, the blood vessels, your blood cells, your brain, your heart, your kidneys. Okay. But there's 2 forms of lupus. Okay. You have SLE, which stands for systemic, which is the one I have. The systemic one means it's everything. Your whole,
your whole body. Okay.
Your whole body. That means all your systems. Okay. Effective. And then you have one called cutaneous lupus that only affects your skin. Okay. So I just wanted everyone to know that's what it is. And but I have the more dangerous one, which is the systemic one. And the majority of people have the most dangerous one, which is systemic. Okay. Now, what it does, and some of the signs and symptoms of lupus is fever, like Jaleesa was saying earlier.
My mom was in the hospital for months. How many months to be exact? Like,
actually, when you're a little child, you think it's months, right, Jaleesa?
Let me tell you something, baby. Right. Every time, I'm gonna tell y'all now.
When mommy was gone,
I'm not gonna start the crying because it was years ago. But every time I would come home, like literally, it was like, is she home yet? And it was like, no, she's not home.
And it felt
so.
Like
oh my God, it felt like it was years, y'all. So every day you would come home thinking your mom's home because you knew she was in the hospital, and all they would tell you was that she's fighting for her life, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it was every single day. you're
Right.
hearing
So
this.
with the fever that I experienced, it was actually 6 weeks straight.
Mm.
So I was hospitalized within those 6 weeks twice. Okay. So let's go back to the signs, some of the symptoms that you can experience with lupus. Very severe joint pains and stiffness. And includes swelling or no swelling of the joints. You can have fever, like I just said, and you can have rashes. One of the classic signs that doctors look for in a lupus patient is a butterfly shaped lesion or patch, rash on your face. It looks like a butterfly. So if you go and they see a butterfly on your face, they can maybe say 80% that it's lupus.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So, and then you also can experience chest pains, hair loss. A lot of people who have lupus don't have hair. I was blessed to keep my hair.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Wait, you went through. Wait, hold on. You went through some hair loss now.
But I did
It
go
was
through
thinning
some,
out.
It was
I
thinning.
did. I did. It was thinning out. So you're right.
Thinning out.
But I kept my hair. I didn't go completely. I didn't go
She
bald.
completely bald.
Okay.
Sis was fighting for the hair.
But I'm coming from a thick head of hair, really thick head of hair. So
Okay.
it was just thinning out. I can see that it was now. And then you will have sunlight or light sensitivity. Okay. So if you go outside and any bright light hits you, it can cause your body to go under stress. And then you can start exhibiting those signs of an exacerbation period with lupus. Okay. And also another sign is kidney problems. Okay. Which may include weight gain. Okay. Or high blood pressure goes with kidney problems. Swollen ankles go with kidney problems. So, and a lot of lupus patients have to make sure they check their kidneys often because they can go through renal failure.
Wow.
Okay. You can also develop mouth sores. But like I said, extreme fatigue as well. The extreme fatigue, even if you get 10 hours of sleep, you're gonna wake up tired.
Man.
Okay. Like you didn't even get nothing. And then it makes you, lupus patients are anemic. So you will, if you go and have your blood work done, you're gonna have anemia on your blood work. So, and then you can have memory loss as well. So you can have memory problem and you can have blood clotting problem. Remember I told you it's systemic.
Yeah,
so all these things
it's
can
everything.
So it's your immune system that's supposed to be defending you is actually attacking you. Okay. And then with your eyes, you can get extreme dry eyes and inflammation in the eyes as well. So those are some of the symptoms of lupus.
That's a lot to take in. Man.
It is.
That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
And to diagnose lupus is not a one test diagnostic test. It could take months, even years, because the symptoms of lupus mimics other symptoms. So people might think, oh, maybe you have some other kind of disease going on. So it's like trial and error. Because it's very hard to diagnose. So it's like trial and error of trying to diagnose it. Sometimes it takes, for me, it wasn't so bad. They kind of like, once I decided to go to the doctor, because I was pushing it off. Once I decided to go to the doctor, they were able to, they had 4 different things listed on a piece of paper and it says it's one of these 4, but they weren't sure. And then the doctor told me it was lupus. So it's hard to diagnose because it's like gathering information from different places.
Right.
And you might be experiencing these symptoms for the longest time. So it's like a puzzle. You know, you put a piece of the puzzle That's what it is. So the doctors, and the doctor you would see if you have lupus is a rheumatologist.
A rheumatologist?
Rheumatologist. They deal with autoimmune issues.
Autoimmune, okay.
Okay.
This is an autoimmune disease, so they deal with autoimmune issues.
So what treatments?
Okay, so before I get into treatments, I'll want to get into the tests that some of the tests that they can bring together. To
yes, I want to know the test.
Diagnosis. So the blood test, they're probably going to run a CBC, which is a complete blood
panel.
And that's probably going to show that you're anemic, number one, right? Then they're going to do maybe antibody testing, all right? And that tells you how strong your immune system is. Okay. And then and this and that one will also show you if the system is attacking your tissue. Okay. Then they might do a clotting, blood clotting test. PTT. If you ever guys ever hear that, yeah.
PTT.
So it's like it tests your blood to see how fast it clots.
Oh.
So the clotting time test.
I know about all that now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then they might do a complement test. That also tests for inflammation. They might do a urine test. They're testing to see how good your kidney functions are, because your kidneys are kind of going off.
They could tell.
They can tell.
They put that, it's like I told you, it's a puzzle. So they're trying to put all the puzzles together.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so and then there's other tests they can run as well for that. Okay, so you guys want to go to treatment because after I told you all the bad stuff, but
y'all want to know how we gonna get this thing together, like.
Exactly.
It's not all gloom and doom. It is not. See, I'm here. I'm a living testimony that you can live.
Yes.
You understand? So the treatments, there's a lot of treatments out there, but I will tell you what the treatments are out there, and I'll tell you what I chose to do myself. Because I typically don't like medications. And because I'm a nurse and I know a lot of different side effects of what different drugs do, and then when you're on one drug, you got to take another drug to combat that drug and the side effects of that drug. So, and then if you're on one medication too long, by the time I reach my 60s and 50s, I probably won't be able to walk because that's already depleted my bones.
Yeah.
So they have non-steroidal drugs like ibuprofen, naproxen. They will treat the mild pain. Like if you have mild pain with this, they'll treat like the mild pain, like the swelling, and stuff like that, just mild pain.
Right.
But they also use something called corticosteroids. Now those steroids, that was non-steroidal, this one is steroidal. These steroids now, they are very good because steroids are good to treat things right away. They attack you right away and they put your body right back into function, but they're not for long-term use. Okay. And then there's something called, I don't know if anyone heard of it, but I think it's been all over the news in 2020 because
that's the drug they were saying for COVID when it's
like chloroquine.
Treating lupus.
Oh,
that's the one.
Chloroquine, yes.
Yes.
I remember hearing that.
Yep, which is also called Plaquenil. That's another name.
That's it.
Yeah.
They were like saying, oh,
it's
that
a
was
very good drug.
It's
It's actually an anti-malaria drug that is given to people when they're traveling like overseas, like to Africa. So they won't get malaria and all them good stuff. So they pre-treat them before you go there.
Okay.
If you know that certain countries you go to, you have to be pre-treated with medication before you can go to those countries. Africa is one of those countries.
Yes, I've heard that.
So hydroxychloroquine is good. I was on it for years. But like I say, I don't like drugs. So I try to find a more natural way of doing things. And so there's other agents before I go into the natural ways that I tried. There's also chemotherapeutic agents, which I was also on for a short time as well. Like chemo, like how you treat cancer patients.
Yes.
They use some of those also to treat lupus.
Really?
Really?
Never thought that.
And also, because you're prone to blood clots, they might also give you like blood thinners to be on as well. Especially because with all those different things that it affects, like the heart, the kidneys, it can give you a heart attack, it can, it can give you a stroke and all different stuff. If I need to go into that any more deep, but those are some of the pharmaceutical treatments. Okay. Me now, I like the naturopathic way. So I looked up all the stuff that I can take to treat inflammation.
Oh, we know. People were mad about that too. They were like, don't do that. My mom was like, nope. If y'all want to know where I get my whole hard-headedness, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go left. I don't care if nobody tell me. What? It's my mama. She was like, nope, I'm doing it my way.
I had doctors that loved me.
Cuss her out.
I was very non-compliant as a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
They told me to do one thing, I did another. So they had me on medications, and I actually took myself off of them and tapered myself off of them. So the doctors knew I would do it. So they would ask me when I got there, so what are you on now? Wow. Not what they put me on, but what am I on now? So I tapered myself off and I started eating right. I started eating the vegetables I need to that will combat inflammation, because you're treating inflammation. What I want to say first of all is that, well, not first of all, in this message is that inflammation is the number one thing that all diseases, okay, is inflammation. Once you could bring the inflammation down, not even cancer can survive in a body that's not inflamed. Okay, inflammation feeds cancer. It feeds all the different diseases. Okay, so I went, go ahead.
No, I was saying it makes sense.
Yeah. That's why you want to get your body down to a pH 7.5 or greater. You want it to go, try to get your pH at least in the 8 to 9 level to kind of give you more. When your pH is up, you're alkaline. You're not acidic.
Yeah, she was alkaline water. No, y'all.
Okay, so you try to get your body in the alkaline state, even if you have to drink. I don't swear by the water, but it doesn't hurt. You understand? But cabbage was one of the main things in fighting lupus, because cabbage brings your body into an alkaline state. Okay, and it's also good for gut health. So once you can treat the inflammation, and when you treat inflammation, you have to treat the gut first. Most diseases
start in the gut.
Start in the gut.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
Yes.
Hey, clean your intestines out. And believe me, a lot of your problems will be gone.
Very true.
Very true. So I did that, and I looked up all the vitamins that I can use to help for inflammation. I did the vitamin C's. I did the vitamin D to keep my bone healthy. I did multivitamin I took on a daily basis. I took I should have written them down and tell you guys, but
someone send it to us later. We can put on the page.
Down the vitamins and stuff like that I took. But I Googled anti-inflammatory vitamins and also anti-inflammatory herbs. Turmeric is the turmeric tea with the ginger.
I got that.
Okay. I don't like the garlic, so I wasn't a garlic person. I don't give onions, but I'm an onion person. But I did turmeric. The ginger I love, so I did that as a tea on a daily basis. I even took extra turmeric in liquid or pills, however I can get it. But what I've learned over the years is if you're going to do anything with turmeric is best absorbed with black pepper. Black pepper is the catalyst to carry the turmeric where it needs to be in order for it to work. So when I was making my turmeric tea at first, I didn't know anything about the black pepper. But then I Googled it, and they said black pepper needs to be in your turmeric tea or wherever you do turmeric to help to bring it to where it needs to be. So some people are out there doing this and not getting anything from it. It's because they're not doing it the right way.
Gotcha.
So I have to do that.
So Cece, any questions?
I'm just taking this all in right now because I'm gonna try the turmeric with the black pepper. And
yeah, so it's not a, but first of all, let me tell you something though. I think you're going to ask me that question, Jaleesa.
Yeah, I want to know, like I said, when you first found out you had lupus, how did you feel? What was the first thought you had?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was relieved. And some people might say, wow, you're relieved and you got a sickness.
Oh.
Because of how I was feeling the whole time, and not knowing is the worst thing.
Oh, okay.
I get what you're saying.
That makes sense.
And what pushed me off the edge was because I actually went to work one day, and we nurses use a pulse oximeter. It measures how much oxygen is in your blood. And when I put the oximeter on my finger, it started alarming, bah, 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 which is danger. So I thought it wasn't working. So I asked my nurse friends to put it on their finger, and it was no problem. They were like 99%, 100%. Even the smokers were getting 98% and all that good stuff. I wasn't even registering. And I wasn't even registering on the monitor. So I did that a few times. And then I realized, no, Esther, it's time. I was having a lot of joint pains. I was barely able to function during my day. All I could do was go to work. And God blessed me with some beautiful nursing friends that would allow me to even rest during my shift. It was that bad. I just couldn't wait to get home to get in the bed.
Yeah. So how'd you feel when they told you, like, okay, Ms. Grant, this is it, you have lupus?
When I first got the call to come, and they told me what it was, I was relieved. I really was.
Wow.
I said, and the thing that I said, today is the first day of the rest of my life. And because I suffered with this so long and not knowing what it was, that when I was diagnosed, I was so happy. I said, oh my God, now I'm going to start living.
Wow. So I was gonna ask, so how was it dealing with that and having children already? Like,
okay, so in a way, I was glad that I had my children.
Okay.
Before I was diagnosed, because had I been diagnosed on the medications they had me on, I probably would not have been able to have children.
Oh, wow.
So dealing with that, it was very stressful with the children being in there. I got to points where I was not even able to walk.
Nope. She had to call her aunt from Jamaica to come take care of us because it was like.
So I had someone coming from Jamaica that was taking care of me and also taking care of the children while I was sick. I was like, the young lady would have to take me out of the bed, put me in the chair, take me out of the chair, in the shower. She cooked for me, and she told the children that she would set my food aside, and she told the children that when they come home from school, because she was going to be out, make sure your mama have this. So they had to bring everything right there to the chair.
I remember it.
I had a kitchen that I had not seen in over 3 months because I couldn't walk there in the house. I couldn't get to the kitchen.
I remember that. Oh my gosh, it was so hard because at that age you wanted to go to your mother, and it wasn't her, but we didn't get it. Like, we didn't understand why we couldn't just go to her.
Yeah.
And then, the medication had her hallucinating sometimes.
Yeah.
So it was like, when we would go to her, she'd be like, go, leave me alone. You cannot be near me. Go away. Go away. So we didn't understand, like, why we couldn't
in the house.
She thought someone in the house going to kill her.
Yeah. It was a medication. They put me on. It was a medication.
So it was so hard for us that being that age, you want to be with your mother. And I think it hurt her because I think that's when she was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I can't keep like, being here, but not being with her kids, and then seeing us. And my dad was also like going through his thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized my mom was like, I can't do this no more. And that's when she started going the holistic path of saying, I gotta get up and fight this for my children. Wow. And that's one thing she's always said was, listen, I gotta fight this for my children. Like my kids gotta see me, my grandkids gotta see me. So now that I have my daughter, that's her granddaughter, and she's still alive for us to see her, it's like the biggest blessing. But I definitely remember them days. Now I always get emotional when I remember that she's gone, because I remember her getting lifted up, going to the bathroom, and daddy telling us, she's sick, go back in the room. So it was like, Mom? But it was like, go back in the room. Yeah. Because this happened when she was already in the hospital going through the fever. Okay. So when she came home from the fever, now we didn't see her for weeks. So she was in the hospital. So coming home, we were excited to be like, oh, our mom is home. Right. But not realizing she's not fully home. Yeah. So she's home, but then now she's telling us, go away. You're trying to kill me, or go away, go to your room. So it was like, oh, she's home, but it's like, oh, who is this? It's like, this ain't the mom that left us like 2 minutes ago. Yeah. So for us, and then, for me and Georgie, it was like, I remember me and Georgie saying, oh, we're never going to have our mommy back. Like, it was stuff like that he would say, but, he would feel like he was the oldest one. So he felt like I'm supposed to protect my little sister. And I remember my dad could only cook soup, y'all. So I remember, we always had soup. Oh, it was soup every night. And then we would see my mom, we're like, and we had resentment. We were like, yo, like, when you gonna get up and be a mother again? Like, when you gonna get up and be a mom? But not realizing until now that she was definitely fighting to get her life back for us and for herself. Exactly. So now hindsight, it's like, dang, she went through all of that for us. But back then, it was rough. It was rough. Oh my gosh, it was rough as children.
So, but the most rewarding part of it, and I tell you the truth, every one of us have to go through something in life. And if I was to do it all over again, just because I was able to share my story with other people who are experiencing the same thing like myself, I would go do it all over again for that purpose. It's not all doom and gloom. Okay, it's not all doom and gloom. The battle, and I'm a very, I would say religious, but I believe in God. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. So he actually was the one that helped me through this. I was instructed, actually, while I was sick, certain Psalms that he gave me to read daily. And so as I read that Psalms daily, I was also able to speak to all my body parts. And people might think you're crazy, but he said, speak it.
I remember it. I remember her saying it. You're gonna work.
This is how I used to speak to my body, because the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And I would always say this scripture verse as well: I shall not die, but I shall live and declare the works of God. For this sickness is not unto death, but it's for his glory. So my spiritual self, my spiritual belief also helped me to get through. And when I held on to my beliefs and I spoke to every part of my body, I said, you're going to function the way God intended you to function. Every day. Cells in your body, you're going to line up with the word of God. I said, kidneys, you're going to do what you're supposed to do because of how God created you to do, and nothing less.
I know that's right.
And I spoke to every part of my body, heart, lungs, you name it, cells, bones.
Every day.
Then when you speak it, it takes on life. And the body don't have no choice but to obey.
Right.
You understand?
True.
So that's what got me through. But journey, after I got back on my feet and got back better, I started walking. And it was so funny because when I first started walking, I could barely get on the track one time.
I remember that.
I was walking around the track one time, but I didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
I walked off track one time. Next day I was walking it 1.5 times. Next day
That's
I was
great.
walking.
You didn't give up.
By the time I was done, I was doing 8 laps. I mean,
I know that's right.
8 laps. And yeah, so I was losing the weight. My body was feeling healthier.
Mm-hmm.
I was eating properly.
You were fit at that point. I ain't gonna lie.
I will not tell anyone to come off of their medications right away. You need to change gradually.
Okay.
I did and came off right away one time and went into a great exacerbation period.
Yes, I remember you were trying to force it.
So gradually so I've been off lupus medications now for over 10 to 12 years.
Wow. That's a testimony right there.
Right. And I'm walking and I'm talking and I'm living.
Yes, you are. Healthy and beautiful and spicy.
Spicy.
Now, I'm not going to say it because there are times when I do feel the aches and the pain sometimes, but then I know exactly what to do. And maybe I came off my diet because I started eating. That's another thing. Sweets is not a good thing.
Sweets. Yeah.
Sugar is not a good thing. I'm going to give you guys a little example why I say sugar is not a good thing.
Oh, man.
Diseases love sugar.
Okay.
So you know, when you're going to go get some tests done and they got to shoot you up in your arm with those dyes, dye they shoot up in the contrast is all sugar.
So they went to see how your body.
That's why when they put you under that magnifying thing, it lights up.
Oh,
because
man.
all the sugar is rushing to all the places that it wants to go to that disease area.
Oh, I need to work on my sugar intake.
You understand?
I need to work on mine too.
I need to work on my sugar intake.
So all that sugar is rushing.
A whole bunch of sugar over there.
I need to work on it.
That diseased area. So that's how they can show it on the x-rays and stuff like that to see which part of your body is having issues.
Gotcha.
Okay. Gotcha. So I have done a lot of falling off the bandwagon because Julissa know I love chocolate.
It's addictive. Unfortunately, it is very addictive.
She gave me a what you call it, one of those little buttons that said I would quit chocolate, but I'm
not a quitter. I gave it to. I did. It's that one quit chocolate. I'm not a quitter because she just addicted. Like she love her chocolate. She love her chocolate.
Yeah, but I had to cut back on my chocolate. Okay. Yeah. In order to treat because my life is more important than my chocolate.
That's true.
So every now and then I would have chocolate, but have the good chocolate.
Got you.
The dark chocolate.
Exactly. So it's but you know what? I would still I would encourage people to do. This is what I would encourage those who are
just finding out they have lupus, like sitting in a doctor's office right now.
Or have lupus and trying to figure out a different way. I'll say do your research. Doctors don't know everything. I'm a nurse, but I'm gonna let you know doctors do not know everything. And doctors, I'm sorry to tell you, but this is real. We keeping it real, right?
We keeping it all the way real, Mom. We keeping it all the way.
All the way real and
all
bad.
The way.
Real.com.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I'm a nurse. And if people come to me with their holistic way of doing things, I say, go ahead. Okay. Doctors, especially in the States, I'm in Cayman now, but all over, I'm not just saying States, but all over, they are aligned with the pharmaceuticals.
You know, you're right about that.
I agree.
The more prescriptions they give you, the more money they get.
Yes.
Because
they sign those little things and say, here, take that to.
That is true.
I've gone to a doctor and that doctor didn't even examine me and prescribe 2 medications.
What?
Which I never even took, because you're not going to examine me and not and then prescribe medication for me. And you didn't even listen to my lungs.
I agree. That's
we ain't doing that over here.
I walked out of there and said, keep your prescription.
Pretty much.
I agree.
Okay. So Do your research. Okay. You will find that you know more than the doctors.
Gotcha.
Okay. There's too much media out there. There's too much what you guys call it?
What, the social media?
Social media.
Social media. There's so much information out there on Google. Google. Okay. Cure.
Google.
Okay. Go on YouTube. YouTube it.
Oh, you did some YouTube back in the day when you were looking for your information. Yeah. YouTube been around for years. My mom was YouTubing. She said, I saw us on YouTube. I was like, oh, here we go again.
But that is true. Sometimes you'll find something that works for you on something else that the doctor just can't.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if and life is all about trial and error also.
If they say you have asthma and they want to put you on steroids and all that other stuff, before you go on there, find out the natural ways of dealing with it first.
True.
Because every medication that is prescribed, they have side effects.
Very true. Very true.
Side effects might not be now, but they will affect you later on in life.
Very true.
Okay. So I said, do your research. I should say, number one, before you even do your research, find your faith.
Amen.
Amen to that.
And speak life into your situation. No matter what you're feeling and how you're feeling, and if the pain is rocking your body, still speak life.
Keep marching.
Because eventually, everything gonna have to line up to life.
Amen.
Okay. So I said, speak life. And then I say, try to live, and it's kind of hard because we live in a stressful environment, right? Yes. Try to live as less stress as possible. Don't let everything bother you. Because all other immune diseases strive in a stressful environment. Okay?
Yes.
Get adequate sleep, which I still struggle with sometimes because I'm so busy. But get adequate sleep, because adequate sleep helps your immune system.
Gotcha.
Okay? Balance it.
Yeah.
Adequate sleep. Get exercise. Don't do anything too strenuous, because anything too strenuous of exercise too can also push you off into an exacerbation period as well, because it's putting stress on the body. Okay. So you want to make sure you do some light exercises, but make sure you're moving all the time. Doing some, doing something. If it's even go for a walk for the day. You understand?
Mom, can I walk with my chocolate?
I can't. Y'all.
Listen, I mean,
Sissy, no, we ain't working on chocolate. No, the chocolate in your hand. She's like, this is one lap right here.
This is one lap.
I can't deal. She said, come on, put my chocolate in my hand.
Well, I would say for you who's not experiencing any of this, yes. But for those of us who are experiencing some of that, no.
I can't deal.
And eat healthy. Yes. Go online, Google those anti-inflammatory foods that you can add to your system. Okay? Stay away from those red meats as much as possible. Chicken and fish, it's fine, but make sure that you incorporate more vegetables and stuff to your diet. You can still eat a balanced meal, but make sure what you're doing do not cause more stress on your body. And clean your gut.
Clean your gut. That's the message.
That's the message for tonight. Clean your gut. A shirt. Clean your gut.
And put gut right there.
Yeah, at the bottom. Well, Mom, you definitely educated us on lupus. Yes. You gave us definitely a well-rounded everything, to be honest with you. My goodness. You really did. Any questions, CC? You
like I said, I'm just taking it all.
Yeah, you really answered everything.
I didn't know anything. So to me, this was a lot of good information. I think I only know one person with lupus, but I've never really talked to them about it. So now I kind of have more information that I can be like, I get you now.
Get you. I was going to ask that question. This is a good question, CC.
And as a Black woman, it is more prevalent amongst us Black females.
Okay. We just say okay.
Okay.
Good
That's good to know.
Now,
Yeah.
how could a friend help a friend who has lupus? Meaning, say, Cece had a good point a while ago. She's like, now I know how to approach somebody who has lupus who's a friend. Like, what would you want your friend to do for you or to assist you with? Like, you know,
just be there.
To be there or to help out sometimes, or
Yeah,
like,
because
how could friends be there?
Yeah, friends could be there and supportive. Well, my friends are older, so we'll come together, we'll pray, and stuff like that. And we'll talk about life as well. Just kind of get them out of that stress. If you know your friend is stressed out, really get them out of that stressful mode to kind of heal their bodies and stuff like that. Also, encourage them. Don't go out with your friends and be eating all this sticky food when you know your friends should be having those nasty food.
Got you. Facilitate the environment.
Yes. You can go home and eat your nasty food afterwards, but while you're around it,
nasty. No feelings. Mom said the nasty food. You better eat the good food.
All the nasty food keep at your house. Okay.
Got you. We're going vegan restaurant. Okay, you better play with me. You're gonna live forever.
You're gonna eat this fish.
Right?
Exactly.
Eat this real fish. Don't play games. Got you.
Okay.
That's a good thing to do.
And if you hear them complaining of those kind of things, maybe you want to say, well, you ever thought about going to see a rheumatologist?
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's their specialty. And not just so any regular doctor will be able to diagnose that. So the regular doctor probably going to refer you to a rheumatologist anyway if you started giving them those signs and symptoms of what I mentioned earlier.
Got you. Well, thank you, Mom, for telling us about lupus. We're going to switch gears real quick because also my mom is a nurse.
Yeah.
She's been trying to get me into nursing, y'all. But let me tell you, Mama figured out when I became a germaphobe that I was going to be a nurse now.
Oh, my God.
I ain't touching nobody's bodies. I don't touch nobody's body, blood, sweat, tears, poop, piss ain't happening. So
only your daughter.
When my mama realized that, she gave up the ghost and said, "No, what? You ain't got to do it, sis. Just go ahead and make sure you become successful in whatever you want to do in life."
It is a lot.
Nurses are amazing. They are the real workers. We don't give enough credit. So, Mom, you say you were a nurse for over 20 years. Question: what's the best part of nursing that you would say? What's the best part of nursing? What do you love most about nursing?
Well, what I really went into nursing for is what I love most about nursing is because I went into nursing to be able to sit and talk with my families and friends. My family's actually family also about certain things because they're always asking you for advice. Number one. True. Also, the patients and their families and guiding them the right way. And being that I've been a hospice nurse long enough, it's comforting the families and being there with them when their loved one takes the last breath. And being there to hold someone's hand who doesn't have any family as they take the last breath to let them know that they're not dying alone, but someone is there.
See, that's true. Because I asked my mama 15
So that to me is the most rewarding part of it.
That's true. No. Okay. I could agree with that because my mom gets a million questions from me daily. I don't care if it's a hemorrhoid. I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
I ask her questions. If I feel something anywhere, she getting a phone call, about 15 a day. I just pick up that phone. And she be like, "What, Jaleesa?"
So she's your Google.
All day. And Mackenzie too. Mackenzie have a little rash anywhere. "Mommy, what is this rash put on my baby leg?" All day.
I say, take a picture.
We take pictures. I send it to her. I FaceTime. I do everything and show her everything. Private parts. I don't care. She gonna see it. She went to school for a reason. She said, "Yeah, private part, everything. She gonna see it."
Yes.
What's the most difficult part of being a nurse? What's the most stressful part of being a nurse?
I think the most stressful part of being a nurse, and I think a lot of nurses are experiencing that today, is actually being burnt out.
I hear that.
It's the burnt out of nursing, and a lot of nurses are saying they're getting too many patients to handle at one time, and especially those in the hospital. I really feel sorry for the ones in the hospital, work in the hospital, because they have to do a certain thing in a certain amount of time, and they have very critical patients. Remember, they are the ones that are trying to keep a patient alive.
Yes.
I came out of that because And that's another reason I came out of that nursing too, because of the stress.
The stress.
Stress.
My issues, I came
Mhm.
out of that. But somebody would say, but you came out of that part when you went into that part where they're dying. Isn't that stressful? No, it's not to me. So
Mhm.
everybody have to find where their cup of tea is, and I like this part of nursing more than any other. But yes, so my hat's off to the ones who are still burning that night candle. I don't like being on call, but I am. That's part of nursing.
That's a part of nursing. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm talking to you and I'm on call right now. But if they're gonna call me, I'm right here still at the facility. So
Gotcha. So it's like the fact that you
Yeah.
like on call. There's some nights you be running out the house at like 2 a.m, 3 a.m in hospice nursing on call to go pronounce a body. And it's like, where are you going?
Wow.
I gotta go. Yep, 24 hours on call. That's
yeah.
craziness.
So
That's
that's
craziness.
but
I've
uh,
heard this saying that I've heard a few people say that nurses are basically the doctors because like because they have to remember everything about the patient to go tell the doctor and document.
I will tell you, and if some nurses are listening, they will agree with me.
Yes.
That a lot of times those very doctors ask the nurse's opinion.
I hear that a lot. They ask them like, what do you think we should do? Yeah, I hear that quite a bit. You're right.
I've heard that quite a few times.
Well,
That
they
the
ask the
nurses
nurses.
are the doctors.
And the nurses will know a lot of times before the doctors.
Let me tell you about a story real quick.
Go ahead.
When I had to get my tonsils removed, there was one nurse, a shout out to Rosa Lee at Northwest Medical. She told the doctor that there was something wrong with me still. She's like, she's in too much pain. The doctor was like, no, antibiotics had to kick in. This was day 3, y'all. Y'all know by day 3, antibiotics should have been kicked in by now. She kept pushing. No doctor, she's Spanish. No doctor. No doctor.
Is that
I'm
your
telling
Spanish
you.
voice?
Yes, I'm trying. She kept saying it. And yo, when I tell you, the doctor, she said, listen, I'm not gonna take it no more. She gotta get checked out. She pushed me to get an MRI done. And that's where they figured that not only was my tonsils still infected, they didn't get all the infection out, that it went down right here into my throat. And that's when they were able to figure out that I had to go to surgery that time. And that taking a needle and taking the fluid out was not going to work. That's why. So shout out to that nurse because she fought for me to get another MRI done. The doctor was done with me, going to send me home on pain meds and an antibiotic suffering. And she pushed it. And literally she pushed it at 6 o'clock. I was in surgery, mommy, at what? 6:15. I was crying, mommy, they're doing surgery on me.
No.
And my mom was like, it's okay, Jaleesa. You're going to be fine. Just pray through it. I'm like, no, I'm not. But shout out to the nurse. If it wasn't for her, your girl would be suffering still in pain.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's my
the nurses are amazing.
It's been a while since she ranted.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
She has a rant every episode.
Every episode. That's a rant.
Yes.
I love my doctors, but my goodness. And nurses do a lot because I work for a pharmacy and we are constantly reaching out to the nurses for medication and everything like that. And the nurses really do. They put a lot out there. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all work. Y'all work for that in coins. And y'all don't get paid enough in my book. Like, y'all don't. Really don't.
I agree.
We don't get paid enough.
We don't get enough pay.
I saw a doctor twice in 5 days. I saw a nurse every 3 hours. So definitely you guys do not get enough money for what you guys do.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah.
But we greatly appreciate
We do.
the nurses.
God knows we do.
Definitely.
I love my nurses. Got a little place in the heart. A little place right there for y'all. Come on, mama. Bam. Because I know I couldn't do y'all job. So bam. Right there.
It's not for everybody.
It's not.
It is not.
It is
for everybody.
not.
I've witnessed 2 different types of nurses.
Yeah.
You have the good ones, the ones that are going to educate you and talk to you and come check up on you. Then you have the ones that just straight attitude and you only see them once.
Because guess what? Some of them only, like any job. So I'm not going to bash them.
They're tired.
Any job. Some people go in it just for the money.
That is true. That is true.
It's a little higher pay, but they quickly realize this is not what it needs to be.
That is true.
That's true.
And if you don't love it, no money is going to
cover it.
cover it.
That's very true.
And when they also realize the how much they have to work, they realize the money ain't.
You gotta really work for it.
Let me tell y'all something. When I was in the hospital, I heard one people young and next door next to me. I was like, I said, yo, sweetie, hi, nurse. How do y'all deal with that? Because in my mind, I'm thinking I would have boxed him 2 times because he kept yelling. And she's just like, oh, we're going to take care of him, smiling. I'm like, girl, no, I wouldn't be smiling. So I definitely give that effort. Okay, Emma, hey, I definitely give that effort. That's her daughter, Emma.
Oh,
because she only got 2 boys. So
I got 2 boys, so she's my only girl.
That's her girl, Emma. Emma's like, hey y'all. So, Mom, thank you for coming to our podcast and hanging with us, educating us on lupus and nursing. We appreciate it. We're gonna have you back again a couple more times throughout our lifetime because it's forever.
Yes.
As
Definitely.
Well. It was nice being there, nice educating, and
thank you.
And we will be seeing you again. And on that note, until next time, bye. 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 You stay right there, Mama.